How's it going, everyone? Should be live now. I will take a second to verify. Shout out the Green Shiz Collectibles. Swear these lives get later and later. Going to start them at 4 p.m. in January at this rate. Um, yeah, today was a very busy morning. I'm surprised I got live on time. I went live. I see the Green Shiz saying late, but I did click go live about 10 seconds before it said 2:31 on my clock. Um, So yeah, this morning was hectic. This week was kind of hectic. In a good way though. Tons of shipments, tons of sales from the Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. I did myself, ate way too much food. I had 3 places to go to and I ate like full meals at each. Had quite a few juice bomb beverages, which were tasty. Hung out with family. Good stuff. Good stuff. Um, Dennis Wolf, today's return is actually solid. No punishment to speak of. I mean, a little bit here and there, I guess. Cards that I wouldn't have graded if I knew they were going to get the grade they did. But that happens in every submission. It's only 75 cards, so it's not like a massive one. I've got a few things behind me that I might rip today. Maybe I'll save the Metazoo for Saturday. But I got my Floric Metazoo in for anyone who knows what that is. I got the LGS variety with the sticker on it. I got Metazoo UFO lunchbox tins, which are actually huge compared to the Pokemon ones. I don't think I have a Pokemon one handy. And then I've got actually this RCS V Star. Maybe I'll probably almost definitely I'll open this one on the stream. The Metazoo I might save for a video on Saturday. But yeah, just gonna be hanging out. Yeah, Mr. Walrus notices the 2 Quaxleys. Actually, something that's backed by popular demand. Let me go to my other angle. Backed by popular demand. We have not the sitting cutie cam, but we have a Quaxley cam. So Quaxley cam is in. I'm gonna work on getting a Snorlax cam, and I'm gonna work on getting a clock cam. But for now, the easiest, lowest hanging fruit was getting that Quaxley cam going. So we've got that. We've got that going. Basic asset. Is this the channel's new World Series Cup companion live? I actually do on a TV over there. I can't show it because I'll get copyright struck or something, or I'll get banned. But I have the Poland-Argentina game. So let me know who you're rooting for if you're watching Poland-Argentina. I know that there's another game on, actually. I think Basic's probably talking about the Mexico one. Good luck, Mexico. I believe they're playing as well. I don't know what. Let me know in the chat, Basic. What's their situation? Does Mexico have to win to get in, or I haven't followed them too closely. The Green Shiz is rooting for Poland. I actually did. They're steep underdogs, but they are. I checked Group C. I believe it says. Yep, Group C. Poland's leading. Poland has, I believe, a win and a tie, and then Argentina had. I'm trying to remember now. I think Argentina had a win and a loss or something. So I think Poland are underdogs here, certainly. I put a few bucks on them. Anytime I'm watching a game, I put a few bucks on it. I think I bet like 5 to win almost 50. Maybe 5 to win 40. Maybe they were plus 800. So yeah, long cam. Maybe I'll get a long cam one of these days. So you can watch me. I can record some clips of me mowing the lawn. Oh yeah, everyone always wants to know this one. And let me get that pulled up. Um, This was a 75 card sub. I believe it was sent. Let me verify so I'm not guessing. I like to try to guess before I just wait 30 seconds and get the actual answer. Um, so this 75 card sub was so it arrived on 10-17. It was entered on 10-21 and it shipped on 11-22. This, if I'm not mistaken, yep, this was it my first one? This was my first monthly special 17, which was the $15 tier. So this is the $15 tier that I'm going to be showing you today. My first one already came back. I do have what looks like 3 or 4 more. But yeah, $15 already coming back. When I sent my 18s, I wasn't confident that I was gonna get them before the end of the year, and all my 18s are back. And all my 18s are back, and my first 15's already back. So they're really, really overproducing, or not overproducing, overperforming expectations. I set my expectations very low after the mess. Part of my mess earlier today was going through what cards I actually still have out from 2020, some of the billing details with Ludkins. I did not keep as good of records as I should have when I was just chucking out 10,000 cards to be graded. And yeah, I was working on getting caught up on that earlier. So I think I'm caught up on all the questions. Metamon, basic, let Metamon know. I don't know if you already did in the chat, but do you have any recommendations, basic, for Metamon trying to learn how to play the game? Any YouTubers for that? I know, like, I'm a partner. I'm not at all on the playing side. I'm on the collecting side, grading side. I think I'm one of the few ones that's selling singles, ripping mass boxes. And, but there's a lot of people in the partner chat that I'm in that do the playability side, the vast majority. So there's got to be some good ones out there. Why am I not live streaming the game? Oh, Mexico has to win to go in as well. So good luck, Mexico. Not live streaming the game because I like having my YouTube account and I like not being banned or demonetized. America, indeed. Oh, Mexico actually needs Argentina to lose. So Mexico is rooting for Poland as well. At what stage does PSA charge you subbing direct? They charge you when it's at the very, very end. They charge you right before shipment. QA2, I believe it would show that it would be in. I see so many people like, oh man, I can't believe all my orders at 15 are in QA2. If they charge them all at once, it's gonna max out my credit card. Like, what should I do? Hopefully nobody's in that kind of a situation. Yeah, Argentina is kicking a penalty right here. Messi's teeing it up right now as I'm watching. I'm gonna do my best to not watch the game too much, but I am gonna watch this penalty take place. By the time you see me react to it, it will have already happened, I'm sure, on your end. But oh wow, oh man, you don't see that too much. But I guess a little bit of there's no way people are seeing this ahead of the live stream if they're watching it. Messi's penalty was just saved by Poland, so that's pretty crazy to see. Let me hit this other question by, yeah, I see Thrifty reacting now. Happy to catch a live stream. How would you best describe your current Pokemon business model? I think a lot of people, very, very common sentiment, very, very common, what do you want to call it? Like common saying, but jack of all trades, master of none. I feel like that's, I mentioned it recently and someone said that the actual quote goes on longer, but being a jack of all trades is better than, what was it? Jack of all trades, but master of none. But being a jack of all trades is better than, I don't remember. I'm not a master of remembering quotes. Full quote. I'm just gonna Google it. A jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. Okay, so yeah, that's a lot of times the shortened quote is used to like say, oh, it's bad if you're not mastering any one thing, dominate your niche, whatever it may be. I do some consigning. I do some collection buying. Look at the recent videos I did, the $48,000 collection buy between Pokemon and non-Pokemon. I'm in wholesale distribution. I'm doing the modern churn largely through Troll and Toad Evo. I'm doing single sales largely through Troll and Toad Evo. I do a little bit of single sales on eBay. I'm doing MetaZoo. I'm doing Pokemon. I recently picked up Naruto, DBZ. I'm kind of doing a little bit of everything. And I guess that's just listing off what I'm doing. I don't know if that describes my business well, but I guess my business model is to just try to try to be spread out, try to be diverse, and try to I'm gonna actually make a video on valuing your time, and I'm trying to put my hours, my limited hours, to the things that pay me best. I mean, I do the Patreon with Jake as well. I do content. I make YouTube videos, I make shorts, I make Instagram reels and TikToks lately. The scalability of content is unmatchable. I do consultations, a little bit of everything. Let me get caught up with chat, and then I'll start showing some returns. L-Dubs and the Zard Hunter are here for the rants. There will probably be a rant or two. We'll see. We'll see what people bring up. How's it going, Jake Smith? Good to see you in here. How would you approach optimizing the value/effort ratio for sub $200 slabs? Consigning, I don't do under $100 because the way consigning works, obviously, if I'm consigning a $1,000 card or a $20 card, the amount of time it takes me to photograph it, list it, sell it, pack it, all that stuff, same amount. And my fee is a percentage. So on a higher value card, I'm obviously making a much higher percentage. A higher dollar amount with a fixed percentage. As far as $20 slab, sub $200 slabs, if I own them, like today's submission return, you'll see a lot of slabs. I think this is going for $50 right now. When I sell a $50 slab that's mine, I obviously net 87% of that sale, whatever the exact number is, 87% minus shipping. So me personally, I have a spreadsheet where I have it broken down. How many minutes does it take me to photograph slabs? How many minutes does it take me to list? How many does it take me to pack and ship? All that stuff. And I've got it figured out. Like, if you have duplication, all the cards are the same set, it goes way quicker. So an average thing, maybe 12 cards an hour. 12 cards an hour, 5 minutes per card, all in. That's photographing, listing, packing, shipping, everything. That's probably a high estimate too. So 12 cards an hour is what I can process. I can justify listing all the way down to $20, $30 slabs that I'm only making $10 a piece on. If I'm making $8 a piece on a card after grading, after doing everything, like net profit after everything, $8 times 12 that I can process an hour, that's $100 an hour. That's really, really good. So value effort ratio for sub $200 slabs. I hope I'm addressing it the way that you're asking it. This is just the way that I'm taking it. I sell those personally through my eBay account. If and when, and in the past when I had tons of sub like $20 slabs, I just wholesale bulk them out, because if you do the math on listing 500 slabs for $20 a piece to $25 a piece, figure out what you'd actually net, figure out your time. And then when you have a willing buyer that is just going to pay you wholesale 60%, like $12 a piece, I sold thousands of slabs for $12 a piece to bulk buyers that were doing mystery bags, whatnot, whatever they were doing. So there is like too low of a number that eventually I just bulk stuff out for a fraction, because my hourly rate trying to get that differential just isn't worthwhile. Let me see. Mr. Walrus finishing the quote. Yeah. Let's see. Can you explain a little more on declared value with PSA? This is the only thing during the submission process that I second guess myself on. So when you do declared value with PSA, I always put my cost basis for the card approximately. What it works out to is that if you declare a card for $100 and say it's worth $1,000, actually, theoretically, if it gets lost in the mail, if it gets destroyed at PSA, if they pinch it in the hold or whatever it may be, they will not pay you higher than that declared value. So declare it high enough that if and when the card is lost, destroyed, whatever, you're going to be happy with the amount that you get. I know a lot of people value them fairly high, but I generally value them at what they'd be in a PSA 9. And if they hit the 10, sometimes I take my upcharge, sometimes they miss the upcharge. I mean, certain 10s aren't worthwhile of an upcharge, even at the bulk tier. So yeah, it's basically just the amount that you have into the card, the amount that it's worth in the grade that you think it's going to get. You can never know exactly what grade it's going to get, so you just have to guess. They'll upcharge you if you're way off. That's basically all it works out to. BGS, I sent some under their special. I didn't have to declare value anywhere. No, maybe I did. What they do is, their form is so weird. You do how many cards are you sending, and then what's the declared value total. So I think I did like 50 cards declared for $10,000. I think I declared kind of high with that one because a lot of the Naruto and DBZ, I don't even know the values. A lot of people, though, Professor Birch, have the opinion that, like, say you're submitting to bulk, you should just claim $199 on every card so that if they're lost, destroyed, you have, like, the full maximum room. They still won't give you, if you declared at $199 and it's worth, like, $20, I don't think they're going to give you the $199. It's going to be actual market value in that case. So some people just max it out. If you max out every card to $199, the return shipping goes up, but it's not like overly, it's not terrible, not terribly drastic. So there's different schools of thought on that. Bro, the declared value is supposed to be with the grade you think it'll get. Oh no. I mean, if you go by what you paid raw, that's fine. If you go by what you think it's going to get, that's fine. Some people literally just max out declared value on every item, so that if and when something goes wrong, they have the maximum amount they can pursue. Is it better to sell and buy cards you like, or just cards that make money? A blend ideally. If you're not enjoying what you're doing, it's going to be harder to sustain it, I think. It's going to be easier to burn out. But if you're buying and selling cards you love that don't make any money, that's not a good business. You need to make money at the end of the day. BGS doesn't care about value. You're just paying for grading fees and insurance. The Zard Hunter trying to bait me in the chat. I might address that later. I might talk about that later. But let's start showing stuff. I graded... Okay, this is terrible reflection. I graded an absolute grail. I graded an absolute grail here today. And not only did I grade 1, I graded 2, 3, 4. I sent 4 of these for grading. All 4 10s. Very, very happy with that. These are probably going to be, I wouldn't say a permanent fixture in my background, but I need to find where I put my graded guards, and I need to get him in the background next to Squirtle. I think he's just going to live there for a while. That is definitely, I mean, I have 4 of them, so 3 are going to be for sale, and 1's going to be a collection piece, because pig with bacon skis. You don't need anything more than that. Mothman Pink Club, a 9 and a 10. That's just me grading a very popular species of cryptid. Same thing in Pokemon. This sub was really fun. It was only 75 cards, but Metazoo. It's mostly Pokemon. That was all the Metazoo. So I got the 6 Metazoo cards out of the way. There's 69 Pokemon cards to come. So this is Japanese verses. It's a pretty diverse submission, though. It was pretty fun. It had a little bit of Metazoo. It had some Japanese verses. It has some mid-era, some hidden fates, some celebrations, some mid-era reverse hollows. Pretty cool, in my opinion. Love that art on that Dragonite. We got Raichu, Jasmine's Raichu. These were just some random non-hollows. I submitted a lot of the hollows, and I've already gotten them back in an earlier submission under the 18. But under the 15, I felt a little more comfortable going down into the non-hollows, a little bit lower value. We've got some, none of these were optimized. All those are done. These are just like random cards I pulled from my binders. You don't like to see the 8s. Everything I intended to grade here was with the thought that it was going to be a 9+. So it is what it is. I got some 8s. You hate to see it, but the way I always organize them, because it's easier to sell similar on eBay, I organize them by grade, by set. And then I do all the 8s of Triumphant, then all the 9s of Triumphant, and then the 10s if there's any. And then I go on to the next set, 8, 9, 10, 8, 9, 10. Some of these sets, I don't have any 10s, you'll see. But I do have a few 10s in here. We'll just probably... Random Ancient Mew I threw in there. You never have too many Ancient Mews. Liquidity is high. The 8 is unfortunate again, but it is what it is. Base set 99 2000, PSA 9. Charmander, and then we got some base set first edition. Some random base set first edition I had kicking around. Haunter, Caterpie. Nice to see the Rattata get the PSA 10. This was really just like a mixed bag of cards that were laying around that I found to chuck out at the 15. We got a Glaceon. We got some I still love Hidden Fates. Hidden Fates is obviously like so far removed from the limelight right now. I'm not saying it's like undervalued or anything, but it is. I made many claims that I think this would be a historic set. I think 10, 20 years from now, it'll stand out than more than most sets around it. I still stand by that. Whether or not it pans out, I mean, I absolutely have been wrong before, and I will be wrong again in the future. And I might be wrong on that take, but I love Hidden Fates. So, random Fusion Strike card I pulled, some random celebrations. These ones I didn't pull myself. These ones came in some collection that I bought. I forget which one exactly, but I probably showed it off several months ago on YouTube. Nice to see some 10s. I don't even know what these are going for right now, but as I go to list them, I'll be low list on eBay. It'll be interesting to see what they're doing. And I got one stack left of all mid-era stuff. So we'll just rip through this submission return. We'll get this out of the way, and then I'll go back to hanging out with chat. And these were some random EX era reverses. I don't remember where they came from. They wouldn't have come from my binders because I didn't keep... These are hollows. These could have come from my binders. But those random reverses didn't come from binders. I don't keep binders of reverse hollows. These Delta Species all came from that, if I'm remembering correctly, these all came from that golden buy that I made, where it came with a complete reverse hollow set that wasn't even stated to be in the listing. Mostly, I mean, a couple 9s or a couple 8s that you saw, mostly PSA 9s, which are great, and then a handful of PSA 10s. I actually hit some like solid PSA 10s, which was good to see. We got like a little stack left. I keep pulling my camera. But yeah, let me Vaporeon, Ditto. Love these Ditto starter ones, and I think they do really well price wise. I'm interested to see what they go for in the 9. I did score 1 or 2 of them in the 10, I believe. Pretty popular cards though. I'm not a big fan of reverse hollows at all. I don't keep them in my personal binders, but the ones with the stamps are, in my opinion, the coolest ones from the entire history of Pokemon. So these, I do appreciate that they're cool. I just don't personally collect them. I'm not a big variant guy, so I appreciate the variant. I think it's cool, but these are all going to be for sale, selling them on. Here we go. Espeon hitting the 10. Very, very solid when they hit the 10. Gardevoir as well. I mean, Gardevoir is one of the higher up ones. Marowak isn't too bad. You got the Ditto Mr. Mime, and then I believe the Ditto Charmander. So I was really happy with this mission overall. You got some Hidden Fates, you got some Celebrations 10s, you got some Metazu 10s. I got some of the mid-era 10s. Nice diverse submission. Got a couple of the versus PSA 10s, but it was a pretty fun return. Let me go back full screen and catch up with the chat. I'm going to move these out of the way just because in a little while I'm going to open up that RCS V-Star collection and see what's going on inside there. I want to check out the metal cards. I want to see if they're any better than the prior ones. Let's see. Mr. Walrus was excited. Hopefully the pig with bacon skis didn't let you down. He's going to be right there over my shoulder for the remainder of the episode. Keenan's not a fan. Dan G, glad to catch up live for once. When do you think the bottom will be for the vintage market? Do you think it mirrors the macro economy, or is there another factor? I think largely the cardboard market. I didn't have one of my lights set up properly that takes care of that shadow behind me a little bit. But I think cardboard more closely follows the macro market than a lot of people think, or maybe everyone's on the same page with that. But yeah, if we go into a really deep recession or deep like depression in the coming years, it can get dark. It can go low. It can go really low in my opinion. So it's going to follow along generally. I mean, not 1-to-1, but it's going to generally follow along with the macro economy. As far as when it's going to happen, I don't have a crystal ball. I was holding out on like not selling a lot of my PSA 9. These are actually cards that I got a stack next to me of things that I was listing. PSA 8, PSA 9, WotC Hollow first edition. It's hard to sell them at what they go for. Like it's hard for me to sell a PSA 8 first edition Giovanni's Machamp for $100. To me, it feels like I mean PSA 10 non-hollow common jungle and Pikachu from Jungle, Pikachu, and Eevee first editions are still more than that. Like to me, this card is worth way more. It's way harder to replicate, way harder to reacquire than the Jungle Pikachu and Eevee, but the market doesn't care. Like, even though I think it's undervalued relative to other things, I'm just trying to like move more things on. I don't, especially being an 8 makes it easier to sell. The 9s, I mean, there's a lot of 9s though around that $150 price point or less. It feels weird. It feels wrong to sell them for that, given some of the other things I'm selling for 150. I mean, I'm selling CGC 10 perfect Pikachu V Union promos for 150 bucks. I'm selling CGC 10 perfect Metazu cards for 150 bucks. And I mean, it just feels crazy that they're worth the same as PSA 9 WotC first edition cards. But I'm done hanging on to some of those cards as much as I was. There's still going to be some amount, like my whole PWCC vault is still there. At some point, I'm going to recall that though. I'll definitely do a live stream showing my PWCC vault and showing what I'm recalling, talking through why. But I feel like I've done myself a disservice hanging on to too many cards that have just continued to erode in price, or not even. Some of them have eroded in price. Some of them have held firm. Some of them are slightly up. As with everything, it's a broad, diverse market. Some the bottom's in, some the bottom will be in the future. Some hit all-time highs and never will see inflation-adjusted prices as high as they did in 2020. Some of them will never really fall. Some of them are at an all-time low into the future, and they'll just steady climb for the remainder of their life, I'm sure. Like, it's such a diverse market. There's no singular answer. But overall, like, I feel like they're low-ish. I feel like relative to other things, they're low-ish. At the bottom, no idea. Griddle Greaser Pete in a graded guard is such a troll. I'll have to graded guard. They actually met Min. Great guy. Love Min. I met him in Orlando and I showed him my trophy Pikachus in the graded guards. He took pictures of those. He shared them, and he'll share a lot of stories where people tag graded guard with their cards in a graded guard. I'll have to tag him in a graded guard post with the Griddle Greaser Pete's and see if he shares it. Just me. I think it's easier. Oh. It looks like I disconnected there for a little bit. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened, but hopefully I'm back. I don't see anyone saying anything, but I know a lot of people. I've heard a lot of people say that, and it blows my mind. I've tried it a few times, and to me, like, I have a system for doing it on my computer, and it's so quick, it's so easy. Retro telling me to dump the WotC bags. I'm in the process. I've been holding on to them, but yeah, I'm a PC guy. I'm desktop all the way. I cannot do it nearly as fast on the app, and I've tried. I've tried both ways. My Gold Star Greninja 100 sub just finished yesterday. Like to see Admiral in the chat. Are Celebrations cards outside of Zard, Umbia, and Mew worth grading? I honestly don't know. I graded my Venusaurs. I think Venusaur, Blastoise, I think they're going for a solid premium over Raw in PSA 10. In PSA 9, I'm not sure. But yeah, I need to look at the prices on those now that I have them. I'm just going to low list on eBay and keep it pushing, as Retro likes to say. The minute I list something low list, I see you showing them off saying you will be listing low list. So I'm going to be undercutting Trippy Hits. Check out his eBay now if you want low list on eBay. But sometime next week, I'm not going to get to these cards for a while, Trippy, so you're safe for a little bit. You've got probably a week or two before mine get listed. So go buy Trippy's this week and then go buy mine in a couple weeks. I look at grades every time before PSA ships. A fair bit of the time, I will have some upcharges, so I always go in to look at what the upcharges are. This one didn't have any upcharges. I was a little surprised with the PSA 10 Ditto Charmander. That's probably over a couple $100. Maybe it's not. If I had to guess, it would be the Espeon. I think I had the 10, or was it an Umbreon? I think a couple of those cards will be over a couple $100, but the Rattata base first edition, that might be under 200 these days. I don't even know. But Keenan asks, Rudy keeps saying that we're in a down market. Do you feel like that's the case for Pokemon? Things still seem really strong. I think it's been flat most of the year. Flat has been the general thing. Something's up, something's down, but flat is overall how I would describe the year. Retro's not a big fan of WotC. Yeah. Rusty was just saying he sold first edition Victory Bell Hollow in a 9 for $50. That feels so cheap. The things that I'm selling for $50 relative to that, it's like, man, what is going on here? But I'm a business. I need to just keep things moving. I need to keep liquidity, cash flow, all those good buzzwords flowing. Your card can't go down if you move it instantly. Absolutely. Admiral recently withdrew everything from his vault. The fulfillment fees are bad. Censored there. But I'm going to do my best to get them out without paying any fees. I'm going to complain about the fact that when I put them in, the fees were nowhere near what they are today. I'm grandfathered in to the old rates. I don't know. I probably won't get anywhere with it. I'll probably have to pay a lot of money. But I do have like, I think I have 300 cards there. And I have, I want to say it's like 100 and something thousand. It's a 6-figure valuation per their numbers because it's my entire Skyridge, my entire Aquapolis, nearly my entire WotC PSA 9 first edition sets, my collection. Shining Charizard, Crystal Charizard. I mean, I sold my base first edition mostly out of there. I sold my Rocket Jungle Fossil first editions, but it's almost all of Neo and E-Reader PSA 9s, WotC Hollow. So there's a good bit of stuff in there. And then I have some random like finalist or champion festival from 2014. PSA 9 Mewtwo went this week for 1,200. Bought a bundle of graded cards on Black Friday. Retrospects pumping up the like button, like to see it. Joey Horton's goal in 2023 is to go from Pokepoor to Pokepassable. Don't wait for 2023. That's my biggest thing with New Year's resolutions that I don't like about them is people like all the tail end of a year, they'll just say like, oh yeah, I'll start this next year. I'll start this next year. Best day to start it was yesterday. Second best day is today. Don't wait for the new year. If you've got a goal for 2023, start working on it today. So many New Year's resolutions get pushed off till January 1st, and then by February 1st, they've already been quit on. So I should reach out to Min. I know Josh actually in here. He's a big sponsored YouTuber. He's got the code for graded guard. I've talked about him quite a bit. I like the product. Like some people, it's weird to me. Some people are like, oh, I would never take any sponsors. We have all the weird things going on right now across YouTube with the Lord and Lady, whatever, some stupid things, and then the FTX, and there's so many things going on with like bad partnerships. But with this, it's like I genuinely, one, I'm a consumer of the product. I believe in it. I'm saying all this not sponsored. Maybe someday in the future I will be. Maybe I'll reach out to Min and see if I can get a code. But like this is the optimal way to get a sponsorship, I think. A product that you already consume, a product that you already enjoy. If Pokemon Center would sponsor me, 100% I'm in. It's like, you know what you're getting. You're not getting like the promise of 20% returns on your money. You're not getting the promise of some weird, like, you're going to be a landowner in Scotland for $50 and you're going to be, yeah, that stuff's just silly. There's not much controversy. I mean, people are weird, but I don't think there's much controversy that can come from taking a sponsorship. Like, hey, like Rusty, a great example. Graded Guard is one great example. Josh, I know Swole Poke has done it before. Probably quite a few people with a discount code. But Rusty, TCA5 on Troll and Toad. If you're shopping on Troll and Toad, if you're buying some of my items, some of Rusty's items, maybe you can't use it on my items, but TCA5, that's like a great sponsorship. That's a great way to do like the affiliate link below for eBay. If you go on eBay at no cost to you, I mean, you can buy stupid stuff. You can waste your money on eBay through my affiliate code, but that's not like, I'm not culpable for that. That's not like the FTX things. That's not like the I forget what that was even called, the Lord Lady thing, but little bit of a kind of rant thing with some of the sponsorship issues that have been going on. Demand is the only thing that matters. Supply absolutely matters. I know you say demand is the only thing that matters. Demand matters a ton, and demand can be so high that it can, like, I mean, Sword Shield 50. Demand like 40,000 PSA 10s, whatever the number is. That card is still selling quickly for $35. If you low list that thing on eBay, it's gonna be sold before you go to sleep. Almost certainly, especially if you put an ad rate on it for a few bucks. But supply matters too, because if that card only had 1,000 printed, the price would be substantially higher. Like look at that. I don't even know what the Japanese version goes for, but that same art is on a card in Japanese. Argentina actually just scored too. I missed the goal, but I see the one on the board and people celebrating. But Yeah, supply matters too, because that card could be hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars if the supply was only tens or hundreds or thousands instead of likely millions with 40,000 graded. So I understand what you're saying, but supply also matters. Rusty says may have been an 8 for $42. In either case, a heavy jungle pack. I've recently sold some heavy jungle packs, 400, 450 bucks. Unweighed packs from a box, 300 bucks, 350 bucks, whatever it might be. Crazy. Feels like crazy value because PSA 8, many times, a lot of those cards come out of the pack, PSA 8 condition. So it's absolutely, to me, like, it's mind-blowing how cheap those are. It feels like undervalued, but they did produce a ton. They produced a ton. They're easy to pull. Like, a lot of people had them in their binders when they were younger. Mine personally weren't first edition. Mine were all unlimited. But yeah, relative to what else sells for $42, like, I love my boy Griddle Greaser Pete, but I have 50 of them or 100 of them that I could probably grade in PSA 10, and that's a $50 card too. Like, I love my boy Griddle Greaser Pete, but if I had to choose like a WotC first edition holo in PSA 8 or 9 versus that in PSA 10 and ultra modern, much high, like, honestly, there's probably less Griddle Greaser Pete's printed than Victory Bell Jungles, but still, like, the history, the attrition, all that good stuff. I mean, we can go on and on about that. But Retro likes Fortress Pokemon, keep in mind. Yeah, Trippy. Hopefully your listings can move, so I can. My low list hopefully will be higher than yours is going for as of today. Nobody's trying to get a Victory Bell 9 when there's a Dunsparce alt art. Last PSA 10 first edition Rattata only did 115 bucks. It's a common. I mean, 115 to me, like, it price memory. I know what I sold some for 300. I probably sold some for like 400 in 2020. I didn't have a ton of them. I know I had one or two. It feels, again, 112, 115 feels high in, like, global terms. Like, to me, I'm not a buyer for 112, 115 bucks. I don't know why I keep saying 112. For 115 bucks, I am not a buyer of a first edition base Rattata. I'm just not. I have one in the binder somewhere, and that's all I need. And but, like, relative to other things, that feels cheap. I would rather, honestly, I'd rather have a PSA 9 first edition Victory Bell holo. Like, I'd rather have most first edition holos than a first edition base common. That's just me. But it is what it is. 100K vault is going to be thousands in fulfillment fees. Yikes. I tried complaining too, but no bueno. Yeah, I guess I'll see how it goes. I guess there might be a strat there. Pull out like a quarter of it and then see what they charge me. And if they charge me a lot, just say, like, I'm literally going to pull out everything if you don't charge me less. We'll see. I don't know. I don't necessarily need it all back at once, so I might do it in little chunks, sell it as I go, but fulfillment fees came on. They came, like, I shipped my stuff originally in March of 2020, the free vault promotion. There were no mentions of fulfillment fees when I shipped mine in. Those came about in the past year, maybe 18 months sometime, but definitely after March of 2020. So I think it's 1 or 2%. Talk about something spicy. Graded cards are pointless. I'm sure we'll get into some. I think we'll get into some spicy stuff at some point, but somebody tried prodding me into it earlier. But we'll talk about the Magic 30th at some point today. I'm gonna be live for another hour and 20 minutes. I'm going right till 4:30. They changed from month-by-month storage fees to 3% fulfillment fees. Last I knew it was 1%. Holy. See, I was in under the free vault promotion, free for life, and now it's free for life again. So I was under the free for life, and at the time I was in, at most there was a 1% fulfillment fee. Definitely not 3%. Like, I get why they're doing it, but 3%, that, if I have to pay, I mean, I think I have, let me just pull it up. If I have to pay, let's just see what I have in my PWCC vault. I have to pay like $5,000 to get my cards back that I was supposed to have paid $1,500. That's pretty crazy. I don't even know how to use this. I'm hardly on this website anymore. So I have 120,000 insurance value in 329 items. So if I have to pay $3,600 to get that back, when originally I thought I was gonna have to pay like $1,200, I'm gonna go Karen. I'm gonna go Karen on them. like Thrifty says. We'll see if it works, and maybe it doesn't work. At the end of the day, if I have to pay $3,600, I'll cry about it. I'll talk about it on YouTube. It'll do nothing, and it'll be what it is. Whatever. Yeah, that's actually a good point, Admiral. Had they sent me some email saying like, hey, you have a 6-figure vault with us, you can either take it back today under the old fees of 1%, or you have to click this button, sign this agreement for new fees of 3%. I don't remember, like, I never did that. That wasn't a thing. I'll use that. I'll complain with that. It probably won't get me anywhere. I'll probably have to pay the $3,600 anyways, but I'll give it a try. We'll see. Retro says, I grew my beard out after being dubbed a lord in Scotland. Yeah, it's weird, Mike. I didn't realize it was 3% as of today, so I'm definitely gonna have to have a word with somebody over at PWCC. We'll see how it goes. I'm Lord Dan of middle of nowhere, New York. Here we go. We're trying to get spicy now. I bought 3 MTG 30th boxes. Let me know in the chat if you want to go into the MTG 30th. Let me know in the chat if you want to have some conversation on that. I bought 3 of them. Very contentious topic. I think there's so many bad takes on YouTube about this product. Some complaints are justified, in my opinion, and some complaints are just complete entitled baby whiny nonsense. So Ernesto, if you're still here, there's some spicy. But supply is hypothetical. What if Pokemon printed everything to the ground and everyone stopped wanting it overnight? Demand is actual information. Supply doesn't matter when Celebration's Big 3 is a free 3 to 4x and a 10 a year later. Griddle Greaser Pete. Yeah, Griddle. You know who Griddle Greaser Pete is, don't you, Swami? He's this guy. He's the pig with bacon skis. Everyone knows who Griddle Greaser Pete is. So the lore behind this cryptid: Paul Bunyan captured this man pig thing. He stapled his feet to bacon, which obviously you know what bacon is. Like, he stapled his feet to the carcass of a prior pig or man pig, and then he makes him grease the griddle for his flapjacks, for his pancakes. So this guy's like his griddle greasing slave or something. It's really weird, the cryptid lore behind this one. Retro going off about modern versus vintage. Rusty says, did you buy any more 30th with the restock earlier? I apologize if that was discussed too much in the first 30. I didn't discuss the MTG 30th at all in the first half hour, so no issues there. I did see on my subscription feed your video. I've not yet watched it. I had a really busy morning, and I made it through some long-form content from the past few days, but I didn't see anything about the restock. Over the past few days, I have consumed a decent amount of Magic 30th content because I think a lot of it's interesting. The wide variety of takes, and I think a lot of them are bad takes. Really interesting. I know that you, like James, like Z&G Emporium, are choosing not to consign it. I think that's like, if you don't want to sell it, if you don't want to be a part of it, I understand not liking the product, but some of the takes about it are just really weird to me, and I don't understand them. But I didn't see anything about the restock. I'll be interested to watch your video after this. Well, tomorrow I'll have to watch it. Family time at 4:30, but I'll see what that's all about. And I mean, maybe my opinion will change if some new information came to light. But I did see Busy Bee, the entirety of my Discord, all Discords that I'm in several Discords, but leaked cards everywhere. And every time cards are leaking, it's like, people are like, surprise Pikachu face, Pokemon artist drew nice art. Why are people surprised? They're going, like, I've said it many, many times, and I'll always say it. Artists will art better and more over time. I don't know why people think like, oh my god, I can't believe how good this set is. These creatures that we love are cool, and there's so many cool ways to draw them. So like, there's always going to be more and more cool arts in the future, and it's cool when we get a set like that, but it's not like that surprising. It's not that revolutionary, I don't think. Call PWCC on the live. Felipe wants to talk MTG. Swami wants to talk MTG. Every time I click on the live, Dan is pumping Metazoo, shaking my head. I only had 6 Metazoo cards out of my 75 card return, and they were only got a little bit of screen time, so unfortunate timing for you, I guess. WotC had its run and will slowly fade into disinterest with the quality of Modern seeming to improve every year. Mexico scored 2 goals in 5 minutes. Imagine an artist being an artist. So yeah, nobody really talking about it in the comments, but a couple comments here and there asking me to talk about it. The weirdest thing to me with the MTG 30th is like the price point conversation. It's a lot of money, but it apparently sold out, or it sold enough to where Magic pulled it, or they embarrassingly pulled it 35 minutes later because it wasn't selling at all, because that angle, that argument made no sense to me. One thing that I intentionally included in my background for when we inevitably talked about it, some of the most ridiculous stuff that I'm seeing on YouTube right now is people just parroting. Like, I love Rudy. I love Rudy so much. This is one that I opened. I love Rudy and his content so much that I bought, like, what did I buy? I maxed out of 4, and then I traded Ray Charizard UPCs for 2 more of these. I bought 6 of these. I bought 6 $669 mystery boxes from Rudy. That's how much I like his content. I also bought 3 Magic 30th edition $1,000 packs. But for a guy who made this for $670, all the things that he's saying, all the criticisms that he's giving, I feel like he's a weird person to be able to say that 4 packs for $1,000 is too much when this was $670. Again, I bought it. The product is hilarious. I bought it because it's hilarious and I love Rudy. But like the context of him having done that, let me see if I can find it. I don't know where I put it. But $670 mystery box, mystery bag, whatever you want to call it. I have it somewhere in my grading pile. Here it is. So I opened one of these kits. Rudy is talking about fake cards. Rudy is talking about fake cards, 4 packs for $1,000. Rudy valued this card. Rudy signed this card 1 of 1. He pumped me and he dumped me for his 6.9 anniversary. He valued this at like $500. What else came in my kit that this came from was like a couple $100 at most. He's valuing serialized pins at like $100 for a set of 6 of them, or however many it was. For a guy who made this and put it in a box, in a mystery box, and called it worth $500 or hundreds of dollars, for him to be criticizing Magic the way they are, I know why he's doing it. I mean, Rudy plays a character on YouTube. I don't know if anyone knows that. I think a lot of people do, but some people don't realize it. Rudy plays a character on YouTube, and Rudy is milking Magic 30th. The same way Hasbro is milking Magic 30th, $1,000 product, trying to like cash grab. That's a really funny complaint too. Oh, they're doing a cash grab. Hasbro's a business. You can make the argument that they are forfeiting long-term health of the hobby, health of the game, for short-term profit. You can argue that like overall, Magic 30th will be worse for them in the long run than having not done it at all. But to say like everything's a cash grab. Any business, they grab cash. The goal of a business is to make money. Every day I come sit in my office and I think about, how am I going to grab cash today? I'm going to sell some slabs. I'm going to do some consignments. I'm going to make some content. At the end of the day, I'm a business. It's for profit. Profit is grabbing cash. Like, I don't understand why that's like talked about in such a weird way. Like another weird thing too is like advertising, marketing. Why do people villainize marketing so much? Like, marketing is so effective. It works so well. MetaZoo got so much hate for marketing. MetaZoo got so much hate for marketing when it launched. Like, what do you want a company to do? They gave it for free to these Pokemon people to pump. They're only pumping it because they have a vested interest, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's marketing. Why did Hasbro reach out to Yu-Gi-Oh people? Why did Hasbro reach out to Pokemon people? Marketing. Everyone in Magic knew it was the Magic 30th, so they can look at it. Do you want to buy it? Yes, buy it. No, don't buy it. But like, how do you get your product to more people? You market it. Yu-Gi-Oh players, Yu-Gi-Oh people collect cards. Like, you know, you're dealing with people who collect cards in Yu-Gi-Oh. Pokemon people collect and play with cards. Magic cards serve a similar purpose. So for Magic to advertise to a Pokemon community, to advertise to a Yu-Gi-Oh community. What's wrong there? Like, Leonhardt, and I don't want to like target specific people. I know that like, I actually met the one guy. I met the Yu-Gi-Oh guy. I'm not going to say names, but people know the names. I met him. Seems like a great guy. But like, all it would take is a minute or two of searching on YouTube to see what the internet has to say about it. Search on Twitter for a minute or two, and you're going to know how much of a shit show the internet is about it. And that's another I feel like I'm just going to go all around, all over the place. The internet is oftentimes an echo chamber of just noisy whiners. The minority of people, the vocal minority. There's a lot of people who like just don't care that much. But one guy who made this product whines about certain things because it gets views. He whines about it because it gets views, and then everyone just parrots the same. Like, I listened to 10 different podcasts, 10 different videos of people just parroting the same thing. Oh, they sent it to a Yu-Gi-Oh person because nobody blah blah blah. They sent it to a Yu-Gi-Oh person for marketing to other card people. That's business. That's marketing. That's advertising. That, like, it doesn't make any sense. That is not a criticism. And the fact that someone takes sponsorship, I mean, that's on you. That's on you to vet a sponsorship. Like, again, if and when Graded Guard gives me a discount code, I know I met Min in person. I've owned his product. I know that I could take Min's sponsorship with no reservations. I know that Pokemon Center, I mean, they produce tons of products that I love. I could take their sponsorship. And like, people would be offended though. Like, people are weird. People would be offended, probably some amount of people, not everyone. Some amount of people, if, hey, I have a discount code, or hey, here's my link to the Pokemon Center. If you want to buy these pictures behind me, I'll make like $1 every time one sells. Some people don't like that. It's weird. Like, I'm doing this for free right now. I'm doing that for free right now. If I can get paid for it at no cost to you, like my eBay affiliate link below, like, why do people get criticized for that? And it's not weird to me that Hasbro, Wizards of the Coast, would reach out to other people in the card space and try to advertise their product. Like, and some people were saying nobody in the Magic space were opening it. I saw multiple. Like, I don't know who the big Magic people are. I know Rudy's one of them. He's been crying about it left and right, making tons of ad money from all the enraged pitchfork holders. But it's just weird to me. Like, I did see several Magic openings. I actually saw a Modern Frame Lotus pull in one video. So there are, like, everyone's saying that no Magic content creators are opening it, and I've myself watched at least a dozen videos of Magic content creators opening it. So people are just like, let me catch up in chat. I'm going off on my own thing. But let me catch up in chat and see if there's any further talking points or anything else to touch on. Let's see. Wilt Chamberlain saying that's a good point. I don't know. The problem is I don't know at what point that was said. If it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. If it makes, it might not make sense, but it certainly makes dollars. Keenan, I ordered 3. I will be ripping one on the channel. When I posted my poll, that's actually one thing I can touch on with this. When I posted my poll, approximately 2/3 of people wanted me to talk about it. So approximately 2/3 of my Instagram and YouTube viewership wanted me to talk about it. 1/3 said no. 1/3 said no, stay away from it. 2/3 said, yeah, talk about it. It was the most popular answer of all 4, but it was not like I think it's a plurality is when it's over 50%. It was not over 50%, but if I took all 4 choices and I picked the highest one, okay, so it was a plurality. So not a majority. So the plurality vote winner was buy it and rip it. So like 35%, I want to say, said buy it and rip it. That was the highest singular selection, with the second highest being talk about it, but don't buy it. I don't want to talk about something that I'm not educated on, and I think the best way to be educated on it is to buy it and interact with it and to open it. Talk about it while I'm opening it. So I opted to buy 3. I'm going to rip at least 1, and I'm going to see what happens. I think it's really weird, all these weird takes on it. The whole going into the reserve list, like, there's a post out there. I posted it in Discord. There's a post where Mark Rosewater actually said he said that we will not reprint standard sized Magic cards regardless of the back. So he basically said, like, because the reserve list left that loophole open. The reserve list, the way that it's stated, I don't know the exact wording, but the way the reserve list stated it, they said they'd never create a tournament legal functional equivalent. Like, so basically the collector's edition and the international collector's edition, which I think were printed before the reserve list even came out, but those were like non-legal cards because they had square corners, different backs. But these cards would have been fine under the definition of the reserve list because they're different backs, not legal. They're actually different fronts too. They're modern frame, retro. Even the retro frame is not a 1-to-1, so there's no concerns about like rebacks or anything like that. That was mentioned in some different videos. But Argentina just scored again, so this game is probably over. But yeah, the biggest thing, Mark Rosewater. Let me see if I can just find it. Mark Rosewater made a blog post about not having. I'm just gonna find it because I had it pulled up the other day. Apologies, but here is the. Let me go here. Let me see if I did this right. So right here, this is the blog post that Mark Rosewater made. Somebody asked if you were making a cube product, I think a clearly labeled non-legal version of powerful cards that you can reprint in black border as gold border cards would be nice, blah, 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 whatever. We are unwilling to reprint reserve list cards at normal card size, regardless of border or back. So the reserve list was not violated with the MTG 30th. This blog post, and this blog post is on markrosewater.tumblr.com, apparently. This is a blog post from Mark Rosewater himself, apparently, that he said, we are unwilling to reprint reserve list cards at a normal card size, regardless of border or back. So this was essentially a lie. If this is, in fact, it seems to be stated as if this was actually made by Mark Rosewater, which I believe it was. The way that I would have gotten around it, if I were them, make them a millimeter smaller. Make them a millimeter smaller in each direction. Your production costs would probably go up, even though you'd be using less card stock. You'd have to make non-standard, which would be like a change to production. But yeah, they should have just made them slightly smaller. Made them slightly smaller so that they get around that, essentially. That's using kind of the Weasley legalese, like we follow the letter of the law. But it is bad that they lied. So I think the criticism that Mark Rosewater lied is a valid one. The criticism that they're too expensive is just a bad one. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. Like when Rudy says sarcastically, this is not for you. This is not for you. Professor Tulane Community College, this is not for you. That's valid. Pokemon makes skateboards serialized. They make watches serialized. Those aren't for me. If they make a card, like they made a gold card, I almost bought it. They made a gold Pikachu card back in 2016. They charged $2,000 for it on the 20th anniversary. I actually looked earlier today. I looked at Elite Forum. I looked at the original post. Some people were complaining about it. Oh, this is only $500 worth of gold. They're charging $2,000 for it. This is a cash grab. That's a dumb complaint. Like, don't buy it. It's not for you. Oh, I'm a Pikachu collector. I have to own everything. I own every base set Pikachu. I own whatever. Like, don't buy it. Buy it or don't buy it. You have no right to complain. They own the IP. They own the IP. They own the rights to do it. It's their art. And Tavis King, shout out Tavis King. I met him down in Orlando. He made a great video, 2-hour video, spreadsheets, all different kinds of things. He talked about how artists were compensated. He talked about how back in the day, artists were paid per card that was produced. Early on in Magic's history, they didn't have a lot of money. They were a brand new TCG. So they paid a small amount up front, and then they basically paid royalties for every card that was printed. So when these MTG 30th were reprinted, some amount of royalties would have been paid to the artists of those original cards. What Magic apparently does today, they pay a lot more up front, but then they buy the rights to the art from the artist. They own the art and they can print it as much as they want. That was a great tidbit. Like there are great videos out there with information about the MTG 30th that aren't just a bunch of butthurt whining, clickbaity, trying to get views, make ad revenue while inciting a mob. And that's a lot of what Rudy's was. Like, being honest, I love Rudy. Rudy's just inciting a mob, making clickbait, whining, going in with all that to make money. He's cash grabbing. He's cash grabbing you, and you're all falling for it. That's let me catch up with chat. Again, getting ranty here, but I think it's good conversation. I think it's good conversation. It's really interesting. As I said when I bought it, it's an interesting case study. It's a very interesting case study, and it's historic. Whatever happens with it, positive or negative, it's historic. And I mean, Rudy's got it right when he says things will change. If whatever this does, things will change. Things have changed in Magic already. And again, it sucks. It's unfortunate they're on this like downward trajectory, and it sucks that so many people are unhappy with it. But I think less people are as unhappy with it as it seems, because that's just the way like echo chambers, vocal minorities, enraged internet culture works. That's just the way that works. So I'm like 10 minutes back in chat. Let me try to catch up. Top spec, Jason Bourne or Old Skool Pokemon? Gotta take my boy Old Skool Pokemon. Old Skool would destroy Jason Bourne. That's not even fair. Wow, there's a fair bit of chat I gotta catch up on. Let the hate flow through you. Yeah, very valid point, Mason. I would love to be a sponsored person of them. They don't need help. Like, I'm buying all this stuff without anyone telling me, and they're able to move a lot of product without having to pay anyone sponsorship. So, very, very great point. I disagree, Swami, but we'll see. We'll see if I ever make it to 100K. I'd be shocked. I think I have a ceiling that's much, much lower than 100K. I'm gonna worry for now, though. I'm gonna worry about 2,500, which the numbers right there. 2,500 is kind of the next point. We'll see if we can get to there. Definitely not today. The rate that I'm going, that'll be a little over a month. Maybe for the new year, 2,500. We'll see. Here's a quick, hi Dan, any advice on correcting higher end PSA mislabeled cards with the customer request center? For example, a PSA 6 first edition base set Blastoise mislabeled as Shadowless. Thanks. Yeah, I would just use their customer request center. I don't know what more you mean exactly. I would go into their customer request center. I think you add the cert number, you might add pictures, go through that process. I've done it a couple times, and it's slow, but it's like generally straightforward. Dan woke up and chose violence. The haters are always jealous. The last 5 minutes convinced me. There's some tingles in the chat. Swami's wildin'. Yeah, the one selection that I had for my poll was like, buy it and rip it, you degenerate gambler. I've still been moving my Metazoo UFO graded cards fairly slow though. It's not Pokemon. Metazoo is not Pokemon by any means. Liquidity, volume, anything like that. ZNG is not tingling. He does not agree. James and Rusty, I think they're both listening still. They're not doing consignments of Magic 30th. I will. If you've got, I honestly, if I was in their position and I did auctions, I think they're doing it more like a moral thing, which whatever, it's fine. Like you can choose what you sell and don't sell. I would not auction these things though. Like if and when I open mine and I grade some, I'm not going to auction them. I think there's going to be so much tampering with the auctions because so many people are butthurt and they just want to like troll and they want to just cause issues. It's the vocal minority, but the 1% of people who cause issues will be heavily targeting these auctions. And honestly, I think some amount of like sales are happening right now, $1,500 to $2,000 for one of the $1,000 packs. There's probably like trolls buying and then not paying. And what they're doing is like they're creating sales history potentially. Like I've actually heard anecdotally in one of my in my Discord, somebody said that it was a GSP buyer. One of their friends bought the MTG 30th and they sold it for like $1,500, $1,700, and it was bought and paid via GSP. So GSP is like a final sale, no returns. It'll be interesting to see what these do. Again, I bought 3. I'm going to open 1 immediately. I'm going to make a video or a live stream, and I'm going to sit on the other 2 and just see where the dust settles, see where it all goes. I already knew information. I have to go watch Rusty's video about an apparent restock. I didn't know anything about that. But yeah, I will take buy it now consignments. Buy it now consignments, especially with eBay authenticity guarantee, way harder to tamper with. So I would definitely sell these as buy it now. I'm a gambler. Like I paid $6,000 and I didn't even get to personally open my beta pack. Jason Page opened it for me in Orlando. I got a Vesuvan Doppelganger as my rare, and I paid $6,000 for beta packs. And the way that I see it, like, it's historic. It's a historic release. I have a chance to pull a Black Lotus. If you want to say it's fake, if you want to say it's a reprint, if you want to say it's a proxy, whatever. Like, whatever makes you sleep at night. That's kind of funny too. Like how people, oh, it's fake cards. One thing I'll tell you, if and when I open Power, if and when I open a Lotus, it's not alpha, it's not beta, it's not unlimited revive, it's none of the historic ones. It's brand new, modern, whatever. It is an official, sanctioned Wizards of the Coast Hasbro printed piece of Power with an alternate back for the 30th anniversary celebration, sold in 4 packs for $1,000. That's exactly what it is. If you want to say it's a fake, if you want to say it's a proxy, as your peers hit the keyboard, whatever helps you. It's an official product created by the IP holders. That's what it is. And honestly, like, if Tavis King, shout out Tavis King. I love his videos. I love his channel. Way undersubscribed. I forget what he has. Let me look quickly what he has. But he made a great video. He speculated, a lot of the common speculation is between 10,000 and 100,000 units. He has 2,600 subscribers. I almost have the same amount as him, and he is so knowledgeable in Magic. It's crazy. He speculated between 10,000 and 100,000 units being made. If that's the case, so if 100,000 is how many were made, which I'd be shocked if 100,000 sold out at 1,000 a piece in 35 minutes. But if 100,000 units were made, the retro frame Lotus will have less than 1,000 copies printed. I forget exactly how many it was, but it will have less than 1,000 copies printed. It will have a lower print number than the Alpha Lotus. I'm not saying it should be more valuable than the Alpha Lotus. It will not have the attrition the Alpha Lotus does. It doesn't have the history. It doesn't have all that other good stuff for it, but it is an official produced product, not tournament legal, with an alternate back for the 30th anniversary by the IP holder. And it will be produced, potentially, unless they sold more than 100,000 copies, it will be produced in fewer quantity than the Alpha Lotus. That's facts. That is the like, if they produce 500,000, it will be more. If they produce 500,000 and they sold out and they made $500 million, that's insane. I don't think by any means that was the case. But yeah, that's just the fact of the matter. Call it fake, call it proxy, call it whatever you want. It is what it is. And some of that like reminded me of the analogy of like the pre-release Raichu. Like, how do we define what's real? How do we define what's fake? How do we define? That's just a whole different rabbit hole, whole different conversation. But there's a lot of whining around that too, like a lot of weird stuff. There's some weird like dynamic around pre-release Raichu. But yeah, at the end of the day, some amount of pre-release Raichus were created at Wizards of the Coast with the original equipment, and some amount of them exist today. Whether you call that real or not, it is what it is. Like, Ayo, Wilden, I don't know. We need a spicy debate with Dan and ZNG about this product. Swami James's chi is bussin' for real, for real. Let's see. I'm 10 minutes behind again, so I'm going to try to get caught up. 1%. I think 1% chances. I need to watch back Tavis's video, and I don't know if he linked his spreadsheet or if I can just like take some screenshots so I have the data for myself. But I forget if it was a 1% combined chance to pull either a retro or a modern frame Lotus, but he went through everything. It was beautiful. I love spreadsheets. Beautiful spreadsheets, beautiful data, information presented well, clearly. 2-hour video. I love long form content. So check out, let me just link Tavis King because I'm talking about him so much, and I met the guy. Seems really knowledgeable and cool. I actually held another card that like gets people worked up a little bit sometimes. The Protostoys. I held a Protostoy, CGC graded Protostoys that he had in Orlando, which was cool. I was just talking Pokemon with him. I was talking the beta box break and the whole sheet mapping, printing, all that. That was really cool. But let's see. I'm giving legal advice now. I don't know what I said that brought that, but Z has morals, Dan has no morals. Mason with the point, one man does not constitute a binding agreement between $1 billion company and the customers. Yeah, I mean, this was what I showed you was a Mark Rosewater post on a Tumblr blog. Like, I don't think that's binding. I don't know. The reserve list, I would need to look into the wording. At some point, it just gets into like, I don't care as much as some of these people whining on YouTube do. It's interesting, spicy content though, I guess, for a lot of people. Mason says Rosewater has next to no sway anymore. He's the design director, nothing more. Rudy's just trolling. Rudy's just raking. As he did with this. Like, I said it last night on PK's live stream. I said it feels a bit hypocritical. Some of the criticisms Rudy's making of the MTG 30th feels a bit, maybe hypocritical is the wrong word, but some of the criticisms Rudy's making, it's rich. It's really rich, some of the criticisms that Rudy's making towards Wizards on the 30th edition product. When he made this product, when he called this the hit, and I love it. Like, I love that I pulled this. It's hilarious. But he called this the hit, and he evaluated it at approximately $500. One card, $500. Magic's giving you 4 packs for $250 each. And Rudy valued this at $500. Are some of his criticisms maybe a little less valid because of that? I think so. Some people don't though. Whatever. Like, it is what it is. That's just my take, my thoughts. Tavis, I hope I'm not like misquoting Tavis the wrong way. Tavis said though that over the history, the way that it's changed, I think, as far as I understand, Magic owns the art, but the artists retain the rights to use it. That's why the artists can do some of those, like, what do they call them? I forget what they call them. But they can do like sketch cards. Sketch cards on autograph cards are sketches on an autograph card are things that like Pokemon is kind of nixing right now. But in Magic, it's a lot more open. You can get like sketches from the actual artists. You can get custom consigned artworks done by some of the Magic artists. How that all, Tavis explains it a lot better than I can, so I'm gonna try to quit tripping over myself with that. No, I don't hate Rudy at all. I think he's being like very hypocritical, might be too harsh, but he's being very, it's interesting. And I know like he has a very vested interest in reserve list not being reprinted in any fashion, and he might be a little afraid of how it could potentially damage the value of some of his holdings down the line. I don't really know, but and then there's the whole debate, like, look at Celebrations Charizard reprint. I just showed one earlier. That probably, if anything, strengthens the familiarity, and the like base set Charizard has been reprinted so many times. Look at Yu-Gi-Oh! Legend of Blue Eyes, Dark Magician Girl. Those have been reprinted so many times, and the originals still hold tons of value. It's at the end of the day, like, it's a very interesting case study is all I can say. It's a very interesting case study, but I think there's so many bad takes. There's so many bad takes out there. Do you think Rudy bought some even though he said he wasn't? I made a joke in one of his comment sections that I put like, Rudy's telling us not to buy it so he can buy them all. If I had to guess, he's probably not buying any, but like, say Hasbro didn't sell out, say that they're holding some back, say that, like, I heard different theories that they only sold a few thousand, whatever. They're going to offer them to Channel Fireball. They're going to offer them to Card Shop Live. They're going to offer them to stores like Troll and Toad, whatever. Maybe for a reduced price. That could actually happen. Like, some of those have some merit to them. Like, they do Amazon dumps. Maybe they just sell a bunch on Amazon. Maybe they repack them. I heard like big Whatnot streamers might be looking to buy them so that they can put them in the repacks. Who's the company that does? I always forget their name. The company that does the mystery boxes at Walmart. MJ Holdings. MJ Holdings might love a product like this. They might. Imagine if they could buy one pack, sell like a $500 mystery box that has one pack in it, that they say you can pull 2 Black Lotuses in, because you can, like, the odds are substantially like against you, but in one pack theoretically you could pull a retro frame and a modern frame Black Lotus. So these repack companies, these mystery bag companies, Rudy himself is a mystery bag company. He could sell a $700 product and say that there's a chance you get a $250 pack in here that could pull you 2 Black Lotuses. I don't know who bought them. How many? I bought 3. All I know is I bought 3. That's all I can tell you. If they sold out, if they didn't sell out, whatever, I don't know. But it's interesting. Yeah, Rudy mentioned he got like 5 million views in 2 weeks. 5 million views. Like I don't know what he's getting dollars per view, but let me just pull up my Social Blade and see. Let me if he's getting, I don't know whether his ad rate would be higher or lower than mine as far as like what he gets per click per view. But me personally, I'm all about transparency. I make about $100 a month. I make $100 a month on YouTube. Affiliate link aside, that's just my YouTube views. So my last 30 days, let's see if it'll load. My last 30 days, I have, where is it? The last 30 days, I have about 19,000, so 20,000 views. 20,000 views got me $100. So I'm getting half a cent per view. If Rudy got half a cent per view, Rudy would have made $25,000 in ads. If Rudy has the same like dollars per view that I get, his could be more, it could be less. I have no idea. On those 5 million views alone, he made $25,000. Who cares? Who cares about what Rudy says, respectfully? I watch him for entertainment. I watch him solely for entertainment. I like his content. I like his person. Like he's an interesting character. That's all I can say. He's an interesting character. I've watched him for years. I was his patron like 6 years ago, and then for multiple years I was out of it. I'm back in the patron now. I do some of the MetaZoo product through him, which again is funny. Like he sells these kits. He sold a $1,000 fab card. He sold a fab card of himself, made over $1 million. He made over $1 million selling the fab card. And he's criticizing Magic for making, and that one has some utility. You buy stuff, it gets like $69 discount on all the fab buys. But some of the criticisms are just rich coming from him. Hypocritical, maybe too far, but Rusty says, I prefer the Yu-Gi-Oh! Platinum Blue Eyes release. I can't imagine having that in Pokemon on the English side nowadays for Zard. I would, honestly, this may be hot take, I would love for Pokemon for the 30th anniversary to do this product. I would love for them to reprint, remember the Japanese base starter deck. If they did a Japanese base starter deck for $1,000, I would buy several. If you could pull a serialized Charizard, and these Magic 30th ones aren't serialized, but if you could pull, I thought I had an empty one here somewhere. I don't know where I put it. But if you could buy a Japanese base starter deck reprint for the 30th, and you get one holo and everything else, and you had a chance to get like a 1 of 100 Charizard, I would buy that for $1,000. I hope they make it. I think that would be cool. Not tournament legal, not in decks, whatever. Some people would be mad though. Some people would like no reserve list. The reserve list complaint goes away because Pokemon doesn't have that. Some people would hate it. Some people hated the $2,000 Pikachu in 2016. Some people, I mean, you're talking about, I forget how many packs are in each of these cards, but I think it's like $20 a card. I think you get for $1,000. I think you get like 50 cards. Is it 11 card, 12 card packs? $20 a card. Pokemon released that Japanese rocket case for the 20th anniversary that had 2 cards for like $100. That's $50 a card. They had the gold Pikachu for $2,000 for 1 card. It was solid gold. It was $500 worth of gold, but $500 worth of gold that they charged $2,000 for. I think that's all fine. Charge whatever you want. If people don't want it, don't buy it. If you want it, buy it. That gold Pikachu that went for $2,000, that's been selling PSA 6 because it's like gold, it's super thin, it's easy to bend. That's been selling for like 5 figures, $20,000-$30,000, I think. Look at the rocket case. The rocket case was 2 cards for like $100 original release, I think. That's like several $1,000s now. Great products. I love them. Like, I think it's 2 different things because one of them is like a booster pack. One of them is like randomization. I'm a gambler. I like randomization. I like the chase. I also do like though. I know the Platinum Blue Eyes thing you're talking about. Great product, great release. They got a ton of money for it. They celebrated whatever. Like, they own it. They can do what they want with it. A little bit weird that whole lie Mark Rosewater made. But like, apparently this is just going to be MTG rants for the remainder, which I'm cool with. Like, if people are hanging out, enjoying it, I'm cool with it. No, I'm here another 40 minutes. So I'll rant for another 40 minutes. I'm going to catch up with chat some. I'll keep going on this though if people want to talk about it. Rudy's a tall dude. Rudy, how much product he moves? He's got like 2 pallets of UPC Charizard cases he talked about. How much product he probably moves? He's probably like ripped too. He'd probably wreck me. Um, his channel would wreck me. He's like also 6'2", 6'4", somewhere in there. He'd probably destroy me. Rudy's guessing like the rest of us, but he's doing a lot of incitement, I think. He's going more than like he's inciting a mob. He's inciting a mob, and I think it's just I don't like it. I'm the problem is I'm part of the problem. I'm watching it. I'm watching all those videos. I've watched every video he's made over the past 2 weeks. I'm part of the problem. Professor Oak's still tingling. Rudy has a nice hairline. Oh, that's right. Yeah. I didn't see it in my subscription feed. I saw it in my IG stories apparently. Yeah, you had a link. That's right. I did see your story. Sorry for anyone that went to Rusty's channel to try to watch the video. He doesn't have a video on it, but he had an Instagram story about it with a link. I do remember that now. Yeah. I love Amped Up Dan. Must have had some Mountain Dew today. Pepsi Cola, if you want to reach out, do a sponsorship deal. I occasionally drink your products on my live stream. I also drink Coke though. If you pay me enough, I will only drink Mountain Dew on my live streams. So get in touch with me. Or Coke. I mean, if you're listening to this, Coke. I actually like Coke more than Pepsi. I like Mountain Dew though more than Mellow Yellow. So I can be bought though. I can be bought on my soda preference. At least what I drink on live stream. I don't use a point of sale system. I don't use Binder. I just manual list everything on eBay, and then I use Troll and Toad Evo. Ernesto says I'm a proxy. I'm a fake proxy. Absolutely. I really enjoy your lives, but we need them more often. Once a week is like a good. Once a week is good for me. Tomorrow, Pokeflips actually. So tune in tomorrow to Pokeflips, different channel. I'm just gonna link shill Pokeflips while we're talking about it. But I do lives every other week on Pokeflips, and I do them every week on this channel. That's enough for me. If I did more, it would feel like too much, and I would like maybe. I've never felt like I'm burning out of any content, but I've switched things up from time to time, keeping it fresh. I do one video on Monday, pre-recorded. I do a live stream on Wednesday or Thursday, and I've been adding in a short every week as well. I did a short Monday for the whole Magic 30th thing. I have another short that's gonna come out probably tomorrow or Friday, and then I've been doing like non-Pokemon on Saturdays. So. Retro says we all get worked up over this stuff, sometimes a little too much, but I guess ultimately that's a positive, right? Because it means we really care about the hobby. You just got to chill and let people be. And I think there's right ways and wrong ways to do it. I think, and some people have been good. Like I've watched some podcasts, some videos where people trash the product because they hate it. They hate everything about it. And that's fine. It's valid. It is valid to hate the MTG 30th product. But one thing they all like, not all of them, but some of them say it. Some of them have, I've heard some people say, if you see someone bringing this to your local game, to your local Magic game at your card store, laugh them out of the building. Like, that is the wrong way. Like, some people have put at the end of their podcast, they put like, I hate this product. I hate everything about it. Some people will get this as a Christmas gift. Some people will buy it who don't consume YouTube content at all. Some people, like we are in the YouTube space, we are in the 1% of engagement. Some people will just buy this because, oh, cool, I can pull a Lotus. I can pull a Lotus printed by Wizards. That's cool. And like, you shouldn't hate someone for deciding, like if you don't want to be friends with somebody over them buying it, whatever, like you can choose who your friends are. But if you go to an event at a local and you like try to bully someone over having these cards in their deck, that's just like really weird. That's the wrong way to go about like not liking the product. If you want to tell people I'm not buying it for XYZ reason, I'm not going to sell it in my eBay store for XYZ reason, that's all fine. But when you cross the line of like trying to incite people into like rage, trying to incite people, the pitchfork mob, all that stuff, that's too much. When you tell people, laugh at people and bully people who own this product at your LGS, if you ever see them, that's too much, in my opinion. I think that would be a fairly objective thing, but obviously it's not, because I've seen a lot of people like actually having that take. Um, People are going to grade these cards and make a fortune. I'm definitely going to grade. If I get, I mean, I'm going to grade some of my rares. I'm going to grade some of my retro fames. It's going to be interesting. I'm interested to see what the market does. I don't know anything about Magic. Are you with Dan at Mason? You think it's no big deal? Oh, I thought it was a question for me. It was a question for Mason. Dan, what do you expect the value for the Black Lotus proxy to be? The Black Lotus official MTG reprint, call it fake, call it proxy if you want, not tournament legal. I don't know. I don't know. I think it will be worth a lot. A lot is relative. A lot is not a firm number, but thousands. I think it'll be worth thousands. How many thousands? I have no idea. But again, Tavis King, I linked his channel earlier. He did a great video where he took what beta cards are worth, what alpha cards are worth, what unlimited cards are worth. And he did ratios, he did all this and that. And he theorized what he thought each card might be worth, what the fair value for each card might be, given the release price of $9.99. So he mentioned in the video, I think he did not buy the product as a whole, but he mentioned as a collector, he wants some of the singles. He wants some of the singles. So I see Mexico was just scored on. There's 2 minutes left of stoppage time. So hopefully Mexico can hang on. I don't know if the other result happened the right way for them though. So they might be out either way. But yeah, I think it'll be worth thousands. He made a spreadsheet where he came about it, however he calculated it. He said that it could or should be worth potentially low thousands to like $10,000 per the $1,000 price, per the pull rates, per relating it to the beta evaluations. How valid that is, I have no idea. But it was interesting to see his methodology and to see it in spreadsheet form. I love that video by Tavis. Mason says it's a big deal because this is WotC crossing a line they drew themselves. No one should be surprised, but we didn't think they would do it like this. Would anyone actually buy that for $500? I don't know what that's over. It reminds me of how many people hate Leonhardt mystery boxes but love PokeRev's mystery boxes. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, again, I'm not saying Rudy's an evil person for doing this, though like the meme kind of is that he is. But some of his criticisms towards 30th just feel weird coming from this. PokeRev actually made a video once showing exactly what went into his PokeRev 1.0 or 2.0 packs. And I think there's better ways to spend your money. Like, buy what you actually want. A lot of people don't know what they want, though. A lot of people know one thing. I have money. I want shiny stuff. I don't know what shiny stuff I want, so I buy mystery stuff. Like, and a lot of people like to gamble. I like to gamble, too. I'm a gambler. Like, it is what it is. Like, it's a product. As long as it's all disclosed what you can pull. And Rudy did that. Rudy did that with his videos. Rudy showed what you can pull. He told you not to stunk out on it, not that you're going to 5 extra money. And Hasbro's not doing that either. Hasbro's not saying you can pull a Lotus that's going to be worth $100,000, rarer than alpha. They're not saying those things. They're saying it's $1,000, celebrate Magic 30th, buy it or don't buy it. They're marketing it. They're marketing it to Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTubers, Pokemon YouTubers. That's marketing. How is that a criticism? How are people criticizing them over marketing, advertising? People do that same crap with MetaZoo too. Like, it's weird. MetaZoo sent out sample packs to people for free. I opened some the other day. I opened some Demons deck. I opened some Demon Dex card. There's a Kickstarter. Go buy it or don't buy it. I don't care. They sent me some because like that's what advertising is. They sent me some for free. They didn't pay me. As far as I know, Hasbro was not only sending product for free, I think they were paying people a lot of money too. And before I showed this on my channel, before I showed Demon Deck on my channel, I made sure that they weren't like any crazy like you're going to make $1 million if you buy into this Kickstarter. And I wouldn't have shown it if they did like crazy stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's a product. If you want to buy it, go buy it. If you don't, you don't. But like me getting it for free, opening it, showing it, some amount of people might have went to the Kickstarter and decided to buy it. That's what marketing is. That's what advertising is. It is what it is. It's just weird. Appreciate you, DNA 87 watching, only 32 likes. Hit the like button. What people don't realize is that it's so expensive to prop up the collector market. If these cards stay expensive, it doesn't wreck people holding the originals. Yeah, like I saw some people say like they should have redone collector's edition as they did originally for $50 for the whole deck of alpha or beta, like they did collectors, international collectors. That would be terrible, I think. If they did 1 million units for $50 a piece of the entire alpha set, that would be so much worse, I think, for the value of the old cards. If everyone, if 1 million, so here's the math behind it. They may have done 100,000 of these for $1,000. That would be $100 million. Another way to get $100 million would be to make 2 million decks, collector's edition decks, collector's edition 30th, call it. Make 2 million of those for $50 a piece. Obviously, your production cost would be higher because it's way more cards, but you would gross the same $100 million, and you would make a lot of money on it. Like it wouldn't cost them that much money. $50, the net margin wouldn't be nearly as good. But you get what I'm saying. $100 million gross. That would be bad though. Like I think that would be received worse by Rudy. That would be received better by a lot of the angry mob, but worse by Rudy. If I could get Rudy on a live stream, I would love to say like, well, Rudy, $1,000 is so much and it's so bad and blah blah blah. What if they did 2 million of them for $50 a piece? He would hate that. Most people though that he's inciting would love it. I think most people would love it, and they wouldn't realize that it would be worse overall for everybody. I think if they did that. Could be wrong. That's my take. It depends the artist. The new artists sell their art, but the old school art wasn't like that. They used to be paid for each time their art was used. That's what Tavis King said. I don't know exactly, but maybe Rudy's being contradictory or inconsistent to phrase it better. Yeah, hypocritical might have been strong. Hypocritical, I admit, might be a little bit strong. I would need to go through word by word everything he said. Like, but yeah, it's rich. It's rich that he's some of the takes that he has. Hey Dan, would you hold Charizard UPC promos at a 9 asking for a broke friend? Gotta love Kai. No. Sell. Not financial advice. All right, Dan, just sold the card I was referring to earlier. Low list away. Oh, great. Hopefully someone from this live stream went and bought it. They should have just sold a reprinted set of Alpha for $250 for the 30th. Then you'd actually be able to play the set. I disagree. And it's fine to disagree. But I think, and Mark Rosewater actually did not want, again, this is me listening to a Tavis video. Tavis made a video today or yesterday where he was like middlemaning a collector's edition sealed box, the original collector's edition. And Mark Rosewater did not want that. He said that these are supposed to be sold in randomized packs. They're supposed to be printed in different quantities. The way the collector's edition worked, you got one of every card. I think you got multiple of some lands, but Black Lotus was as rare or as common as a common card. And Mark Rosewater did not like that, apparently, supposedly. As long as I understood Tavis's video correctly, go check out his channel, go check out his videos. But I honestly disagree, Pokebarn. I think this was better. I think this was better for everybody. A lot of people don't agree, though, and that's fine. Maybe it ends up being a net positive and brings more attention to the OG cards. I don't know. Interesting situation, though, and definitely unexpected given what I've heard of the reserve list. 30 years is a big anniversary, and they sold a celebratory product to non-price sensitive folks for 36 minutes. Didn't they have a secret lair that was a 30th anniversary thing too? Like, this isn't the only 30th anniversary thing they did, is it? They also gave this 1 to every LGS, 3 to every premier LGS, whatever they call it. I know some people are like, I don't know. Some people are like that entitlement side where like they're giving me one of these, I don't even want it, that's not enough. Like giving $1,000 product for free to an LGS, to me that feels like something. I don't know. I guess if everybody hates it, it's bad and whatever. But like, people like to whine. Yeah. How's it going, D Spill? He said he makes 10 to 15K per month on average. Is that his ad revenue? I'm assuming you're talking about Rudy's ad revenue. That would probably fall in line, though. If he makes 10 to 15K per month on average, 25K over the last 2 months because of his 5 million views, like that probably falls in line with what he had said. Rudy's social blade is indeed impressive. I am 20 minutes behind chat, so I'm going to try to catch up. Yeah, he's killing it. Rudy is raking. Rudy is inciting a mob and raking. Just people love to hear that they were wronged. People love to be victims, and he is aiding in that. He is aiding in that. Rudy said Rudy Retro said the spicy boys have infected Dan. Cool down, Dan. You're too hot. I'm gonna cool down with a nice Mountain Dew. Find it at your local store. Mason, would you say a majority of your Magic customers hold the same opinion as Catch 'em All, or have you heard of one even? Dan versus Rudy UFC cage match. I got Dan full net worth. Oh wow. So Mason says he's bought more collections of people getting out of the game the last month than ever, and they say it's because of what Wizards is doing. Absolutely. Like there are valid arguments. This is and the way that like the corporate incentive structure is for presidents of companies and the way these companies are run, it's a quarter by quarter game. Like Hasbro might be doing this knowing that they're gonna like kill it this quarter, this year, these next couple years, but like it might hurt them 5-10 years. It might like this. I'm not calling for it. I'm not saying that, but this could be the beginning of the end. Like if it is, it's a historic product. And I bought it for the reason that I think it's a cool chase. It's a cool gamble for an officially licensed product, not tournament legal. I don't play, I don't care. But that's why I bought it. It's going to be historic either way, I think. It is historic. Rusty says Sundrop greater than Mellow Yellow. Sundrop was good. I think the first time I ever had Sundrop was at your house. I would need to have like a side by side taste test. I don't remember. I think I like Mountain Dew better, but I'm not positive. Meryl T. Edwards says, "Notice me, I noticed you." Cherry Sundrop. Alexander Horning says, agreeing with the MTG 30th product and pretending that it is well received and a good business direction are two different things, and it sounds like Dan is inboard for both. Obviously, it's poorly received by a lot of people. I just think YouTube, like, where was the conversation? In a live stream or in I do too many live streams. I do too many voice chats and Discord that I don't remember. But somebody made the argument that, like, look at Twitter, look at how poorly received something is. Twitter is not representative of like the average human being. Twitter is like gets dramatic a lot of times. The internet gets dramatic a lot of times. There are so many things on the internet that are not representative of the average human being. And there's so many echo chambers. There's so much like dramatization because it gets clicks, it gets views. And so just because like very well could be like Mason is actually giving information that his local community, he's seeing more sales. I know a lot of people who are receiving this poorly. I know a lot of people, very interestingly, when I made my short on Instagram, when I posted my poll, a lot of people said, I love this product. I'm buying it. You're crazy for making content about it. They said you're crazy for making content about it. So I know, I mean, I'm a small guy. I only 2,500 subscribers almost, a few thousand Instagram followers. I heard of at least 3 to 5 people telling me, I am buying this secretly. I'm not going to tell anyone. I like the product. I think it's going to do well. I'm buying it, but I'm not going to get into the mob. I'm not going to get into the frenzy. And I just show what I do on this channel. I don't show everything. I show a lot of things, though. I show a lot of things, and this is what I'm doing right now. And I think a lot of people, again, griping about the price, that's entitlement. That's wrong. Those people are just babies, in my opinion. Griping about them lying, that's more valid. That's much more valid. And I understand. Griping about this is going to hurt the game long term. I love this game. It's going to kill it. You can hate this product, and it sounds like a lot of people do, but like 99% of the internet hates it. Like that is not representative. What you see on the internet, what you see on Twitter is not representative of the whole of everyone. I'll just say that. It's not a representative sample. And the voices you hear are not representative either. The vocal minority is a thing. And a lot of times people, what they hear, what they see, what they experience, they think that like that's a representative sample of everybody. And it almost never is. It almost never is. A lot of times the minority is very vocal. Yeah. Let me keep trying to get caught up. The Amazon dumps. The Amazon dumps are scary. I mentioned it in I think my Charizard UPC video. If and when Pokemon ever starts selling direct to consumer, again, like there are probably Magic players that love it. There are probably Magic players that say, "Why would I support my scalping LGS when I can buy it on Amazon cheaper?" That is hurtful to the whole ecosystem, to the whole distribution system. Like what Hasbro's doing with Amazon dumps, I think is way worse for everything, for everybody than the MTG 30th. But some of the people that point at the MTG 30th and say this is killing everything, they gladly go on the Amazon, they buy these dumps, which how can you blame them? Like if you've got a fixed budget and you can get more Magic product, go for it. But like there are people who hate their LGSs, they're scalping monsters, they buy these Amazon dumps and they say that like MTG 30th is killing Magic. Mason, I'd like to know in chat, which do you think is more damaging overall? Like it's probably hard relative to say which one, but me personally, I think destroying LGSs with Amazon dumps is more damaging than a $1,000 reprint product that is not tournament legal. That's my opinion. I'm interested to hear yours. Let me scroll down because I just see it in my live chat. Mason says 100% true. And again, a lot of the people who are buying or hating on MTG 30th would say that Amazon dumps are awesome because it's getting rid of those dirty scalping LGSs. And like that's more damaging in my opinion, much more damaging. Let me get back up to the chat and try to catch up. Mexico's out. Dan's lives are good. Never punished is good. I could use more Mason. I could use more Mason too. Shout out Mason Berry. Shout out Cardinal Gaming. Let's get some more content. Busy with Black Friday. Good to hear that you were busy with Black Friday. Give the people what you want. Mason dropping the hearts. Love to see it. When is more Swami coming? We do need more Swami as well. Oh, the $500 is what Rudy said the card you're waving around is worth right now. As a gambler, I'm surprised you don't open modern Pokemon. Some of it's a time thing. I don't know. I do open some. I open some with my son. Every time a new set comes out, he wants to open a little bit. We open a box. And too hot. If I open my LGS box on my channel, I'd probably get wrecked. Absolutely. I think you'd get wrecked having it on the shelf at your store. If you put it on the shelf at your store for $999 and tried to like get out the value that Magic was trying to support you with, you'd probably be destroyed. If I was you, I would probably sell it on TCG Player or sell it online. I mean, ideally through someone like through a consignment, so it's not even tied to you, because it's just weird. It's weird how pitchforky people get, and it's weird how like it's weird how and it's not surprising because they are being incited. Rudy is inciting a mob, and everyone's parroting his bad takes, in my opinion. Like Rudy's bad takes, I've heard so many times. There are articles being written about this poor Yu-Gi-Oh content creator who was a victim of this. Like again, I feel bad because like seems like a great guy, and I met him, and I know people in here are friends with him, but like he chose to take money from a company to collaborate and sponsor with a company. He should have Googled it. Leonhardt said in the comments that he Googled it and he didn't want to touch it. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like if you take a sponsorship and it goes, and props to him, props to the Yu-Gi-Oh streamer for making the apology video, both established titles, both on established titles and on the MTG 30th. If like people make mistakes, if and when I make mistakes, I did the punishment by PSA. I did the slab optimization that I was wrong on. Not necessarily like a mistake, but I mean it was a business mistake. It was, and I own it. I make a video. I come out like, yeah, I lost on this play. It was dumb. Props to him for making a video, pulling the video, like saying why he won't do it again, saying how he'll be more careful in the future. He made a mistake. Like owning mistakes. Everyone's gonna make mistakes. Same thing I say about PSA, CGC, all these companies. If and when you make a mistake, how you respond to it is what's important, because everyone makes mistakes. So I'm not trying to be hard on him, but it's weird to me how like his responsibility in it is just completely removed, and it's all evil Hasbro who made him do it. Like whatever, like Hasbro was marketing. Hasbro was marketing in a very reasonable place to market in TCGs. Mason Berry, choosing to participate in MTG 30th is giving Hasbro the green light to continue this. Catch 'em all supporting the direction Wizards is taking, and he's fine to do that. Dan's business also isn't depending on continued support from Hasbro. Mine does. Yeah, I mean, that's valid. Is this, I don't know if this is on Rudy. He has the right to express his opinion, though. His call to action was just don't buy it, not burn Hasbro down. No, he didn't do the irresponsible thing that some people did. Like some people said, literally make fun of people if you see them having this product. And he was like, one thing Rudy, I will give him. I've been kind of like Rudy bashing some. I love Rudy. I love his content. I love that box. I love this ridiculous one of one that I pulled. He did a great job of saying, like, honestly, please don't buy it for these reasons. It's bad, whatever. He also said it might make a lot of money. He said it probably will sell out. It probably will go for more money on the secondary market in the future, but please don't do it because it, like Alexander said, it will give them the green light. Rudy made a lot of good points, but the way that he did it, the victimization, the proxies, fakes, like some of it was just extreme for me, and it was funny. The tie-in with his Rudy kit and his Rudy promos. That's my thought. Keep purchasing these reprints. Go ahead. Let's see where the relationship with the LGS and Wizards goes. It's doing so great now, isn't it? I think the secret layers and I think the Amazon dumps are way more damaging than MTG 30th. And MTG 30th is a secret layer. It's like a boosted up secret layer as far as I understand. So yeah, whatever. I'm gonna buy a Black Lotus from Duel Masters, best reprint ever. Wizards does more for LGS than a lot of LRTCGs. They give us a lot for real. Their business is free to make money how it wants to, but their actions do affect other business, like game stores, like TCG player sellers. Even LRTCGs and the seller of those get impacted. And Mason's done great videos on Card Shop Live, Channel Fireball. Some of these TCG player essentially selling product directly through their platform at lower price points. I mean, when you're competing with somebody who's buying the product cheaper or producing the product themselves and paying lower fees or no fees because they own the platform, it's impossible. It's impossible for the little guys to do business when it's being sold direct to consumer for lower fees, lower cost. Let's see. You're saying that the actions on Amazon, the lack of substance in the latest sets leading for the massive decline in draft collectors are doing more than LRTCGs. I don't know what that. Honestly, I'm not like super up to speed with all that goes on in Magic. I'm following along this dumpster fire that is MTG 30th and all the content around it, but I own a few beta and alpha cards. I don't own anything. Like I own some random Magic cards that I pulled in my Rudy boxes, but I own very little Magic. I don't play. I don't play Pokemon. I don't play MetaZoo. But yeah, I'm not like super. I know Hasbro's in a weird place. I know their stock's down 40%. Everything Rudy said, I know. That's about it. What Gengar card does he have the fattest belly in? From Fattest Belly Gengar. Well, I see you have the full art Phantom Forces as your profile picture, so I'm assuming the full art Phantom Forces card, which I love that card. I believe that's 114 out of 119. Let me see if my memory serves me. That is one of my favorite sets from the XY block because it brought me, well, it didn't bring me back, but when I got back to the hobby, it was let's see if I'm right or if I'm just, it is 114 out of 119. I love that set because that is the set that was the most current set when I got back into the hobby in 2014. So I'm gonna say that card. Thrifty's gonna make Patreon to navigate World Cup betting nuances. Team Surge over Team Mountain Dew. Surge and Vault, those old sodas that I don't think are around anymore. I'm just gonna spend the last 20 minutes or 10 minutes. I'm gonna spend the last 10 minutes trying to get caught up with chat. Garen is listening to me in the skid steer again. All this 10K a month in ad revenue talk has me contemplating life choices. Where do you see the prices of vintage and mid-era PSA 10s going in the next year? I honestly think prices will go down across the board. I predict some cards will half in price. I agree, and this is said by someone who's very much a low pop pokey. You might see around Discords. I agree. I think it's generally down. I think there's a big downward pressure on most cards, especially set cards. Set cards, when grading gets quicker and cheaper, that's downward pressure across the board. Ray needs to get a channel. Ray reacts, absolutely. Let's do it. Hi Ricardo, thanks for tuning in. We need more PokeTubers, absolutely. Should we be expecting UPCs every year from now on? I'm not sure, maybe. I completely forgot about opening that RCS V-Star. I'm probably not going to open it at this point because I got to end in 10 minutes. The Amazon backdoor is way worse. Yeah, I think that it's kind of like the whole... Again, I don't like saying names, but there are some eBay sellers that are believed to be just distributors themselves selling directly to the market. And you can't compete with that because I pay 12% eBay fees. I pay 12%, 13, whatever the TCG player fees are. And I pay 86 a box. I'm going to make a video on Monday. Wholesale modern expectation versus reality. Because you just can't compete. You can't compete with these guys paying 3%, 5% eBay fees and buying boxes for like 75 bucks, 80 bucks a box when I'm paying 86.50. Rules for thee, but not for me. Typical TCG consumer. Absolutely. That's true. If you're going to go out, you might as well win on the way out instead of lose or tie. Yeah, it's I mean, Magic. Like, I appreciate Magic for what it is. The OG TCG, like that started. It's not the first one. I think there were some like before it that whatever. But one of the biggest that's around today, 30 years. Like, it's unfortunate that there's like cracks forming and issues in the space. I wish the best for Magic, absolutely. And I largely disagree with people's takes on how bad and how damaging this 30th anniversary product is. That's why I bought it. I think the direct-to-consumer Amazon, I think the things that more people are participating in, shunning MTG 30th, but buying the Amazon dumps, shunning their LGS scalpers, that they're doing, like, they won't admit to it. They will hate if they hear me say this, but you who are buying Amazon dumps are hurting Magic more than those that are buying the MTG 30th. That's my opinion. Start one. I got offered a sponsorship from a sewage drain clearing company. Any advice if I should accept? It's risky because if someone uses them and they like screw things up, there's just liability down the line. Am I Slab Podcast asked me, am I collecting anything? Like actually collecting and not attaching a price. Look behind me. Look at everything behind me. I'm honestly collecting more non-TCG stuff than TCG stuff at this point. I do keep binders of most of the modern Pokemon sets, the modern MetaZoo sets. I'm a binder guy, and look at all, like, I collect a ton of stuff with Pokemon on it. Just less and less the cards. So absolutely, still a collector at heart. Rudy definitely called out people individually and told them to go F themselves, so that isn't cool. I watched so many of his videos and I watched so many other people's. I forget exactly what he said, but I do feel like there was a lot of times where I'm like, come on, Rudy, what are you doing here? You're doing too much. You're inciting too much, and it is what it is. He's not going to see this. I mean, 90 people are seeing this live right now, which is good numbers for me on a live stream. It is what it is. Yeah, Rudy is always out to help himself first. This product, in a way, hurts Rudy. That's why he hates it. And that's fine. Like, it is fine for businesses to cash grab. Businesses are in business to make money. Rudy, like, you should put yourself first. You should put your business first. As long as you don't lie, cheat, or steal. Like, don't do any of that. And I think some of the stuff Rudy's saying, and not directly lying, but he's being deceitful. He's being weird with some of his takes with respect to some of the products that he's made and sold. That's just my opinion. So yeah, it is what it is. If you can get paid to do something and you aren't hurting anybody, then who cares? And that's where, like, taking a graded guard sponsorship. Someone's gonna buy a graded guard. They get what they get. Like, it's a product. You buy it or you don't buy it. At the end of the day, like, but if you take hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars to sponsor like FTX, and people invest in it and they lose all their money, that's very, very bad. Very, very bad. Yeah, and it's fine. It's fine to skip products. It's fine to vote with your wallet. That's very valid. Like, but you can't really get mad at someone else. Like, I'm gonna vote with my wallet and I'm not gonna buy this on principle. And then you can't get mad at someone else for, as a consumer. Like, people are mad at me. Some of the DMs that I receive from people that I don't know, not a ton of it. I'm a small channel. I'm a small account. But look at the Yu-Gi-Oh streamer. Look at how much hate he got for accepting a sponsorship and just opening a product. And he got so much hate that he pulled the video down and did a big apology video. That's weird. That's weird to me. People are weird. And it's fine to choose not to participate in it, but it's not fine to go to somebody and to try to put their head on a pitchfork, put their head on a stake because they, as a consumer, decided to buy it. I, as a consumer, decided to spend $3,300, $3,000 plus tax to buy this product. It is what it is. Like, you didn't buy it, I did. It is what it is. It wasn't though. See, this is so weird, DNA. I get what you're saying, but I don't think the overall point was trying to say the Yu-Gi-Oh didn't mess up. I think the point being made was that it was really crappy of Hasbro to try to get individuals who have worked hard for their reputation to get murdered in the YouTube comments by a community that they are not familiar with. Google it. Google it. If you're going to take money and product from a company, you should not put it on video without knowing what you're getting into. These people were being paid and given free $1,000 product. I didn't watch I wish I watched the video. I wish I watched the video for more context. That's part of the reason why I don't like talking about it, but like that was a big part of it. A big weird part of it that was being parroted because Rudy said it. Everyone's parroting it because Rudy said it. Maybe Rudy didn't even say it first, but I think he did because it was like the next day. It's weird. It's really weird, and it is not weird of me. Like, how do you put that on Hasbro to market their product? It's weird to be offended by people. Like, it was crappy of Hasbro to market their product as a company who wants to sell a product. That's such a weird take. That it's a prevalent take. It's very prevalent. People hated on MetaZoo because they sent sample packs to people. That's weird. Like, they're marketing. They want to sell their product. Magic, everyone in Magic knew that it was the Magic 30th anniversary. If I was Hasbro, if I was Magic, I would want to advertise with Pokemon people, with Yu-Gi-Oh people. I would try to like branch out to other TCGs because if people are buying collectible card games, there's a good chance there might be crossover appeal. So like advertising with Yu-Gi-Oh streamers, that's valid. That's fair play. Did I miss a last comment? There are plenty of ways to market, and by the community saying for a Yu-Gi-Oh streamer, it made Hasbro look far worse in my opinion. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I don't think that was bad of Hasbro. I put responsibility, and again, I'm not trying to like. I don't want it to turn into that. I'm not trying to put bad stuff on him, but he apologized. That's all you can do. You make a mistake, you own up to it, and he did. Good for him. But he made the mistake. He made the mistake. He could have Googled it. He could have watched a YouTube video. He took money and he took product and he made the choice to open it on his channel. Whether the money blinded him, I don't know. I don't know how much he got paid. Maybe he wasn't paid. Maybe it was just the product for free. I don't know what it was, but personal responsibility. Personal responsibility. And he took it. Like, I'm not saying he didn't take it. He claimed the personal responsibility, but blaming Hasbro for advertising their product, that's just weird. I don't know. We're at Fat Belly Gengar Talk. I'm going to try to catch up. Let's see. What DNA said, it's also that they targeted non-Magic YouTubers and aren't supporting their own community's content creators that have stuck with them for so long. Feels crappy to me, and I don't care about Magic. That's weird, though. Again, Rudy said it. Did anyone Google, did anyone search for openings of this product by Magic community creators? I did. I watched them. I watched Modern Frame, Lotus Be Pulled. Everyone's saying that no one in the Magic community made videos, but some people did. Maybe they went to that thing in Vegas and maybe they got it from there. Maybe they didn't get it directly from Hasbro. I don't know, but it's not weird of me. Like, why do you advertise in front of everyone who already knows? Everyone in the Magic community knew about this release. Why would you pay more money to advertise to people who know? It doesn't make sense. Like, you would advertise with people who don't know, who might not know, who might end up buying it. I don't know. It's weird. What would happen if the Amazon dumps weren't bought? I can see how they might be less likely to dump, but they also might take it as demand isn't high for product and dump further on product they have in their warehouses. There's been times, and I don't know if Magic's done it, there's been times where companies have destroyed product to buoy the market. Like, if it wasn't bought, could it force Magic to like literally destroy it and quit producing more in the future? I think so. There's historical context of that happening in other, whether it was other TCGs or maybe it was sports cards, but there's been times where manufacturers have destroyed product. 1952 Topps, I think, isn't that the one that was like dumped in the ocean because no one was buying it? Whatever. I don't know. Yeah, marketing. You target new people who might buy from you. You don't spend all your marketing budget. You don't put up a McDonald's billboard in front of McDonald's, because if they see the golden arches, they know McDonald's is inside of there. You put up the billboard like at the throughway, a mile from the exit. Like, hey, take this exit 1 mile south on this road and you'll get to McDonald's. You advertise with those people because they might cross over. They might be driving on the throughway. They might be buying Yu-Gi-Oh! And they might be hungry. And they might be enticed in with a billboard on the throughway to come get McDonald's. That's my analogy. I think that's a reasonable analogy for why Hasbro would advertise with Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's weird to say, McDonald's, you should not put an advertisement on the throughway. You should only put your billboard, McDonald's, in front of McDonald's. That is so dumb. Maybe that's a bad analogy. I think that's a good analogy, though. Like, come on, people. Advertising. They're a business. Oh, man. Like, they're a business. They're grabbing cash. Is it short-sighted? Is it hurting things in the future? Is it short-term gain for long-term pain? Probably, maybe, absolutely. Like, it could be. Good argument. That's a good argument. Crying and just throwing a fit, hissy fit, not a good take. It's weird. It's weird. Yeah, they can sell it direct for market value. They cannot dump it like so hard. Dan is airing all his grievances before the year ends. I'm gonna try to catch up. Tell them, Dan. People absolutely want something to be mad about. And that criticism could be made of me right now. Like, Dan, why are you ranting on a Pokemon channel about Magic? Just stick with Pokemon, blah, blah, blah. You're feeding into it. Absolutely. Like, I bought it, though. I bought it, and I'm going to get hate. I already caught hate. I didn't catch crazy hate, but, like, I caught people saying, I can't believe you're going to open that. You're going to get degraded. You're wrong for buying that. You shouldn't support it, blah, 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 whatever. It's just weird. But, let me try to catch up. Holy mollies. I paid nearly 100% boosters. They were blowing out boxes for 60. Yeah, how is that for health? How is Mason's paying 100 and they're selling it for 60 direct to consumer and they're making profit? Like, that's how much profit they make on this stuff. It's crazy. Jake Smith and Coulson with the rock Pokemon catchphrase. Yeah, no one talks about the fact Ruxin could have... Yeah, Ruxin, I just said the name now. Could have said no. Absolute personal responsibility. And again, he claimed the responsibility. He made a response video apologizing. He pulled his video. So he owned it. He owned it. And that's all you can do. He made a mistake. He owned it. But people are fully victimizing him. He's not even victimizing himself as much as everybody is. Rudy did it. Everyone's just parroting it. Everyone's just parroting zombies. What Rudy says. It's crazy. Did he keep the money? Probably, I would imagine not. He mentioned contracts. He couldn't say the name. He probably had to give the money back, whatever. Yeah, like, not every product has to appeal to their entire fan base. Nobody needs this. You like it, you buy it. You don't like it, you don't buy it. When Rudy and Professor Tolarian made those videos, this is not for you, this is not for you, in a sarcastic tone, that's valid. Hasbro can make a product that's not for you. That's valid. Not every product needs to be for you. You don't need it all. Gotta catch them all. You don't actually have to catch them all. Catch them all collectibles. You don't actually have to catch them all. It's crazy. He said he wasn't paid in advance. Yeah, I think disagreeing is good and healthy. You just got to do it in a good and healthy way. And I hope I am. Call me out. If I do something wrong, if I do something stupid, call me out, please. Call me out. Let's talk about it. Let's debate it. Let's work through it. I'm going to wrap up very soon. I'm going to turbo get to the bottom of the chat and I'm going to wrap up. I appreciate everyone hanging out as always. I might have to pull some shorts from here, pull some clips. Don't put up the billboard over Burger King because that's a crappy thing to do. That's exactly where you put it though. You put it near the Burger King, like, hey, don't eat this trash food. Drive a mile further and eat. And actually, it's funny. Like, I've watched some documentaries about McDonald's and very interesting business and getting way into the weeds. But a lot of times you'll find McDonald's, Wendy's, and Burger King clustered together because, like, that's what they're doing. They put it where people need food, near malls, near whatever. Like, it's good business to put one near it and try to, like, yeah, I don't know. It's I'm trying to get caught up. The worst product I've seen in gaming. I mean, I bought it. This product can't create value from nothing. It literally did. I spent $3,000 on it. It created value by printing old things that they own the rights to. Like, it is what it is. It can hurt your feelings that I spent $1,000 a piece on it, but I did. I bought 3. It created value from nothing. Fake, proxy, whatever. I bought them. I would love that. That'd be awesome. Rudy's next video: raging PokeTuber slept with Hasbro execs and pumps Magic 30th to the moon. That's hilarious. Yeah, Squeaks. Thanks for coming. I wish people would quit treating TCGs like they are life-saving insulin. I was on the fence with this product. I would have bought had you made this video a few days ago. It's weird too how many people, like, if you hear Rudy's arguments and you don't want to buy it for a moral stand because of that, great. Like, I'm not trying to get people to buy it. It's already sold out, or maybe there's a restock, whatever. Like, don't buy it on my behalf. Just, this is what I'm saying. Take in what I say, take in what Rudy says, take in what everyone says. Do your own thing. Like, do your own thing. I'm gonna finish up, and I'm way over time. I appreciate everyone hanging out. Sorry it turned into such a rant. Either sorry or you're welcome. I don't know. If people wanted it, you're welcome. If you didn't want it, I'm sorry. I gained a sub. Yeah. I imagine if you ranted for another hour, the stream could get some nice traction. I unfortunately can't. I don't. Let me see. I think my wife's home. Let me text my wife quick and see if I can go a little bit longer. More rants. Someone's messages got deleted. Thank you, Mason, for using that wrench. I can't show the full chat because those will get shown. I'm gonna pay resale prices for MTG 30th because Dan told me absolutely not. Like, if you don't like the product, don't buy it. Please go longer. I mean, at this point, if anyone has any questions, Mrs. Ketchum, we thank you. If anyone has any direct questions, I mean, I don't see any new questions. I'm actually fully caught up in the chat. Let me know. I think I made my point pretty clear. Some people agree, some people disagree. That's great. That's the way things should go. I think I've been civil. My wife actually is home, so I could theoretically stay a little bit longer. Probably, I'll probably be a little bit in trouble, but yeah, I don't think there's any other questions. Mrs. Dan is the GOAT, 100%. Rudy just posted, let's blow up the comments for Dan. I'm gonna wrap it there because I don't see any further comments, but I'll have to change the title to Dan Rants. Maybe I'll remove the last like hour of this and post it as its own video of just Dan Rants. But yeah, Rusty's got to go too. Direct question, why can't you stay longer? Family time. I'm out of Mountain Dew, almost. I'm almost out of Mountain Dew. Ready? I'm out of Mountain Dew. Such a refreshing beverage. If they want to sponsor me, hit me up. Plus, it's family time. It's family time. I'm not in Hulk mode anymore. I'm cooling down. The beverage just calmed me. I appreciate everyone hanging out. You got 10 minutes of overtime. That's it. Thanks for hanging out.